Okay. Hello. Yeah, monster. She dropped me for a reason. She makes me go away. Thank you, Olive Raiders over there on Twitch. I see you. Yay, you did it. Super Pope Raid is wild. Super Pope Raid. Good morning, good afternoon to those of you on the East Coast. It is Monday. Oh, I didn't change my background. I forgot to do that. Here, I still can. Wait. Nope, not lock it. Off. There we go. For that one. And for that one. Okay. Thank you, Trademark. Thank you so much. We're hitting that gift gallery already. And Trademark did the biggest one, so you guys can, I know you guys can keep up with that. All right, good morning, good afternoon to those of you on the East Coast. I appreciate you guys being here today. If you are over here on TikTok, make sure we're doing all of the good things. Tap that screen, share the live out, do your daily heart me if you have not done so. I have the little roses above my head, up there in the corner. If you guys get that done and accomplished, I can set a new goal and it can help push us onto the algorithm. I appreciate it. As you can see from my lovely friendlies, if you click on my profile picture and hit D1 gift gallery, that will show you what needs to be lit up in my gift gallery for this week. It takes one person. Each gift, you have to give the entirety of that gift, as you saw Trademark do with the 2 corgis, and Blue just did with the TikTok gifts. I appreciate it so very much if you guys could get that accomplished for me. Hello on this midterm Monday. I have my 100 goal that I have every single day. Guys, this is my job. We couldn't quite get it accomplished last week. Let's see if we can do so today or this week. That would be wonderful. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Howdy there. So 100 goal, you can do a $1 train, a $2 train, $5 train, whatever you would like. Helps sending it to me directly. Also lets me keep my money. TikTok likes to take a huge portion, as does gifts on YouTube and Twitch, which I am multi-streaming on. But Cash App, Venmo, PayPal are all in my bio if you would like to contribute to that goal. I would appreciate you so much if you did. How are we doing on this Monday? Mondaying. Hello. That's what I didn't have up. So one thing I didn't have is my Ballotpedia. Did I unmute them? No. Okay. Now I did. Okay. Oh, please don't. Do I have to sneeze for real or no? Just fake sneeze? Okay. You're learning creative dishes to make? I love that, Monster. I love to hear that. So we're going to get started with our midterm Monday aspect. I do have an outline for today, so we can switch the background right back over once we're done with midterm Monday if we want to, but it is midterm Monday. And so we'll go over some election stuff, but real quick, W's to Juicy Juice Godfrey. Thank you, Juicy Juice Godfrey, for the $2 train. Choo choo. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you for that $2 train. And that brings us down to 98. It's a great way to get our week started. And thank you, Trademark, just knocking the gift gallery gifts out of the park. Thank you. Who texted me? What is that? Okay. I don't know why I'm getting... I don't even have an Indeed profile. How the fuck am I getting stuff from Indeed? Okay. You go away. Increase you. Ballotpedia. Let's do some election stuff. So today is the 13th. So tomorrow you have, okay, this is all of our April 14th stuff we're going to get into. California local elections. You have White Hawk Ranch Community Services District special election in California. You have Delaware local elections. Florida local elections. Florida Fort White Lonnie Harrell recall election. In Georgia, you have Georgia local elections. Minnesota, you have local elections. New Mexico local elections. South Carolina local elections. Virginia, you have Charles City County. Charles City County, Virginia special election in April of 2026 is also tomorrow. But then you have other stuff this week. Let me look at my calendar to make sure we go over up until the 20th. Okay. So then you have... on Tuesday, Illinois statewide Libertarian Convention. If you are part of the Libertarian Party and you would like to attend your convention in Illinois, the statewide convention for that is April 15th. New Jersey District 11 has a special general election for U.S. House New Jersey District 11 on April 16th. Utah, you have Iron County Republican Convention. If you are a registered Republican, you have your convention in Iron County in Utah, April 17th. Delaware has more local elections on April 18th. Maine local elections on the 18th. In Utah, we got a lot of Utah on the 18th. Davis County Republican Convention. So you guys have a bunch of them. Salt Lake County, that's going to be your bigger one. Salt Lake County Republican Convention is also the 18th. Utah Libertarian Party Nominating Convention is the 18th. Utah County Republican Convention is the 18th. And Washington County Republican Convention is also the 18th. That is all, a lot of that was Utah for those last little bits. Again, Ballotpedia election calendar so that you can keep up to date about what's coming up. When we get to Monday, then we'll start going over these ones. It keeps going. It's constant. It's never ending. Elections don't stop. It's not just what you guys think of as the presidential elections being the only thing. It's just not. It's more than that. Okay. Make sure I've got all of this set up. And we can get going. Just make sure you're paying attention to your elections, please. I would appreciate it if you guys did. Speaking of elections, I guess we'll start here. All that work J.D. Vance did. All that work. Hungarian Prime Minister Orban is ejected after 16 years in a European electoral earthquake. Hungarian voters on Sunday ousted Minister Viktor Orban after 16 years in power, rejecting the authoritarian policies and global far-right movement that he embodied in favor of a pro-European challenger in a bombshell election result with global repercussions. It was a stunning blow for Orban, a close ally of both U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, who quickly conceded defeat after what he called a, quote, painful election result. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance had made a visit to Hungary just days earlier, meant to help push Orban over the finish line. We saw this. I played you the videos for it, where he simultaneously in the same speech said, I'm not here to tell you who to vote for, and then in that next clip said, get to the polls for Orban. So we put our thumb on the scale in a way that we should not have been, by sending our fucking vice president to do stump speeches for an authoritarian dictator in another country, and he lost. Trump's might, his namesake, his fucking endorsement doesn't mean anything. Yeah, imagine if we had a leader who would concede a loss. Eli, that would be nice. Election victor Peter Magyar, I apologize if I say the name wrong, a former Orban loyalist who campaigned against corruption and on everyday issues like healthcare and public transport, has pledged to rebuild Hungary's relationship with the European Union and NATO, ties that frayed under Orban. European leaders quickly congratulated Magyar. His victory was expected to transform political dynamics within the EU, where Orban has upended the bloc by frequently vetoing key decisions, prompting concerns he sought to break it up from the inside. He is attractive. I have videos. I will play a couple videos I have from him. He is an attractive man. Don't forget that he is still a conservative. This man is from within the party. He's not a Mamdani by any means. He is still a conservative. We must remember that. But he is a conventionally attractive man. So I can... which video do I want to play first? Maybe not that one. So this is him. Again, there's going to be a voiceover for a translator about him, whether he's going to call Trump or not.
Relationship with the U.S. I myself am not going to call him, but if he or anyone else from the U.S. administration contacts the TISA administration, we will be available for the 70th anniversary relation.
So what he's saying is that he's not planning to reach out to Donald Trump, but if Donald Trump would like to reach out to him, that's totally fine. And again, Donald Trump has yet to, as all of it, we'll get into all of his unhinged posts in a minute, but of all of his unhinged posts, he has yet to congratulate Peter for his win in Hungary. I wonder why that is. So, yeah, that's why I said, Amber, that's why I said conventionally. Conventionally, he's attractive, right? If you're looking at the checklist of society finds attractive, sure, do your thing. I don't really want to play that one, to be honest. I don't think we need to play that one. So, what do I want to get into here? Let's go to the unhinged, I guess. Let's start there, right? We'll start there. Might as well, because that's going to take us a little while. I'm sure we've all seen it. We're going to see it. We're going to read it. This is his truth about Pope Leo that he had last night. Slovakia, hopefully. Well, and so here's the thing before we get into that. That is what Hungary did is huge. This is 16 years of an authoritarian. And he took over the election system. He took over the media environment. And so for the country to so overwhelmingly be able to combat this is huge. And it's a huge signal to smaller countries and bigger countries like our own that you can fight your way out of this. You can vote your way out of it. We can move further. we can keep fighting. Like I said, he is a conservative, so he's not some raging leftist, but it is a sign that the world is rejecting what they were proposing, which even Viktor Orban literally had a name for it called illiberal. So the opposite and the antithesis of liberal democracy, that they are rejecting that. They are rejecting the authoritarianism and they are moving to democracy again. All right. So Trump, and he's mad at Pope Leo because Leo has been speaking out that he does not like what's going on with the war. He does not like that you are bombing women and children, as he should. He talks to God. So that, that should be his position, is that he does not like that. And he would prefer, what he's always said is he would prefer a diplomatic solution. But that makes Trump very mad because he's not being supported, especially not being supported by somebody who is from America. So here's his long rant. Pope Leo is weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. He talks about fear of the Trump administration, but doesn't mention the fear that the Catholic Church and all other Christian organizations had during COVID when they were arresting priests, ministers, and everybody else for holding services, even when going outside and being 10 and even 20 feet apart. Now, we had COVID regulations, we had COVID restrictions, by the way, instituted under his own administration. This was under his administration when the lockdown was happening. What was happening in the Vatican would have been under the Vatican. They're separate from the Italian government. Remember that. Would have been their own governmental structure and idea of regulating COVID. But even if there were ones here, that was because of our regulation. I like his brother Louis much better than I like him because Louis is all MAGA. He gets it, and Leo doesn't. I don't want a pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Did Pope Leo ever say that? Did he ever say he's okay with Iran having a nuclear weapon? If anything, he's probably against all countries having a nuclear weapon, including us. I don't want a pope who thinks it's terrible that America attacked Venezuela, a country that was sending massive amounts of drugs into the United States, and even worse, emptying their prisons, including murderers, drug dealers, and killers, into our country. Again, no proof of that. And I don't want a pope who criticizes the president of the United States because I'm doing exactly what I was elected in a landslide to do, setting record low numbers in crime and creating the greatest stock market in history. The pope is a nonpartisan entity. He can criticize whoever he would like because he is divine from God. Again, I don't think you understand what goes into the papacy at all. He can criticize who he wants because he's not beholden to a nation. He's beholden to God. Leo should be thankful because, as everyone knows, he was a shocking surprise. He wasn't on any list to be pope and was only put there by the church because he was an American, and they thought that would be the best way to deal with President Donald J. Trump. That's not how that works. But if I wasn't in the White House, Leo wouldn't be in the Vatican. Unfortunately, Leo's weak on crime, weak on nuclear weapons does not sit well with me, nor does the fact that he meets with Obama sympathizers like David Axelrod. He's not a sympathizer. David Axelrod worked in the administration under Obama, so I don't know what that means. A loser from the left, who is one of those who wanted churchgoers and clerics to be arrested. Leo should get his act together as pope, use common sense, stop catering to the radical left, and focus on being a great pope, not a politician. It's hurting him very badly, and more importantly, it's hurting the Catholic Church, President Donald J. Trump. I would say he's not being political. He's doing exactly as he is ordained to do, which is to speak against harm of human beings. Saying he's doing exactly what he's fucking supposed to do. But sure. And so then I'm sure we saw the next one that he posted. It has since been deleted. If you guys have a Truth Social account, we have one that we share as a community. Thank you, Crow. It is our herpes that we all share so that we can keep track of what's going on over there. It has since been deleted. I checked. But we all saw it. The internet's for fucking ever. So here's that. Donald Trump posted himself, I can't zoom in, posted himself as Jesus, I think, helping this ailing man. This almost looks like Captain Ismay from the Titanic. I'm not sure. I think the zoomed in version might be, I don't know if I can zoom in here. Oh yeah, okay. And you got a nurse. And the Statue of Liberty, I'm not sure what that is. Is that like the Statue of Liberty as an angel, or is that a demon? I don't. This looks like Satan. It's blasphemous. It's wild. No, Maxwell, I won't cry about Trump 10 years from now, because then he will be dead. And we will have already celebrated and partied our little hearts out. And we will be on to criticizing the next Congress and the next president, because that is our job. Our job is to make sure they do their job, because they work for us, not the other way around. I don't glaze his taint the way that you do. He's actually supposed to glaze mine. So it is reliant on us to make sure Congress is doing their job. Right now, they're not. They're just sitting on their hands and letting Trump do whatever he wants. So 10 years from now, I won't be talking about him, other than what he may have effectuated that we now need to fix. But not him as a person, because he'll no longer be posting unhinged shit like this. Again, he has since deleted it. But we got lovely evidence of comments. It's not going well. I wonder why he deleted it. Oh, because it's not going well. Mr. President, these are truth comments. Mr. President, with all due respect, take this down. You are not Jesus. Even if this wasn't the intention, this is not a good look. I do not support this, and I know many others do not either. Remove it at once. You've probably already done too much damage with this meme. Give all honor, glory, and praise to Jesus, but certainly not this. If it's a staffer, fire them and offer an apology to Christians for this mockery. Sally says, you are mocking Jesus. I deeply regret voting for you. Many people do. Your ego won't let you see it. Are you truly a sociopath? 25th Amendment. You are sick. I've never regretted a vote more. Idolatry, pride, and false worship. This is absolutely terrible. Yes, that is blasphemy in the Bible, if you've actually read your Bible, and I did.
I love the Lord.
You think you're God, but the truth is you're possessed, sacrilegious, and preposterous. I voted for this. MAGA is dead. And it goes on. Literal blasphemy. Yep, I am officially 100% done with you at this point. Mocking our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, is beyond ridiculous at this point. In blasphemy, I cannot believe I voted for you 3 times. This is mocking God. I know, if only somebody would have told you. If only somebody would have said something about him being a false prophet to y'all, and to not raise him up as such. It's interesting. How do I want to get to this? Okay. So, again, with the truth that he has not deleted, which is his attack on the Pope, he was asked on the tarmac, why did you go after the Pope? And this is his response, where he pretty much doubled down on that.
And they're going to go back filled up with oil. Okay?
Why did you attack Pope Leo on Truth Social?
I don't think he's doing a very good job. He likes crime, I guess. He hit us. Think of it. He's worried about fear. What about the fear when the ministers and the priests and all of those great people that were arrested during COVID, and in many cases they're outside 10 feet apart, and they were arrested. So we don't like it. We don't like a pope that's going to say that it's okay to have a nuclear weapon. We don't want a pope that says crime is okay in our cities. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of Pope Leo. He's a very liberal person, and he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime. He's a man that doesn't think that we should be toying with a country that wants a nuclear weapon so they can blow up the world. I'm not a fan of Pope Leo.
Oh, that's just because he criticizes you, not because of what he actually says. I did not know what was going on. I did not know that that's how you rated people. I was just like, why does he come in here and say, eh? And then Brett said, eh. I was like, really? Wow. I see where my friends are. But W to Brett Raiders. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. Guys, make sure we're doing all of the good things. I was just going to admonish my chat a little bit for the fact that we are only at 15,000 likes and it is almost 10:30. We should be well on our way to 25,000 by now. Thank you, Trisha. I love you. So I appreciate you guys coming in. Maybe you can help boost the chat and show them what it means to actually be a good tapper and use those fingers for the things they're supposed to. So I appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you. Welcome in. We are talking about Trump's attack on the Pope. Something must have happened for the... Okay. We'll take it. But Pope Leo was asked. He responded. So Donald Trump, in his truth, used the word fear. That he must have fear. Now, I'm going to read the quote. I'll bring it up. I'll read the quote. I tried to play this video. It's very low. It's very, very difficult to hear. I will have it linked so that it will be in my live outline in my Discord. So if you want to watch it later, where you have the choice of how high you would like to have your headphones up, then that'll be great for you. But I'm going to read the quote from what he said in the video, right? Quote, I have no fear of the Trump administration or speaking out loudly of the message of the gospel, which is what I believe I am here to do, what the church is here to do. We are not politicians. We don't deal with foreign policy with the same perspective he might understand it. But I do believe in the message of the gospel as a peacemaker. That's his job. He is the Pope. So I don't know what Donald Trump thinks he's supposed to do. But then I do have a little bit of a better video of more of his response. You can understand him better here.
I will not shy away from announcing the message of the gospel, of inviting all people to look for ways of building bridges for peace and reconciliation, of looking for ways to avoid war anytime that's possible, to put my message on the same plane as what the president has attempted to do here, I think, is not understanding what the message of the gospel is.
And Trump doesn't. He doesn't know. He's not a Christian. That's the point I'm trying to make to you. He never was a Christian. And you guys let him lie to you about his Christian beliefs. Now, does he have Christian nationalists in his administration? Yes, but they also are blaspheming against the Bible and against the Word of God with the radicalization of their Christianity. They're not following God's Word. I don't know that Trump said... I don't know that he actually said he wasn't Christian, because I remember looking for that video and I don't think I was ever able to find it. So I'm not sure on that. Oh, that's not what I wanted. What did I want to... but specifically in the conversation of radicalists, like you guys, and we will get to Iran. I have a lot on Iran, of course I do. And we will get to it, and you guys are going to lose your fucking minds like you always do about radical Islamists. And again, I will sit here and say, in the same breath as I'm talking about this, I will talk about the fact that I don't agree with religious radicals. I don't like it. I don't like organized religion. I don't like people who take their religion and try to press it onto their government and onto their people. You can be what you want to be. But don't push it on people. Christian is not Catholic. Where do you think Christianity came from, Chuckman? Who put together the Bible? Who put the Bible together? What council was that? Wait, what, Blue? But I hold the same standard with Christianity. I don't want it as a part of a government, and I don't want it pressed on the people. But here's Marco Rubio talking about how a specific country is so radical with the juxtaposition of Donald Trump using it as a weapon against you.
And that is what he is doing. From the very first night of this operation, the president made it very clear. People like this, and now what I'm talking about is not the people of Iran. The people that run this country are radical Shia clerics. These are religious fanatics. And that is what
religious fanatics, huh? Interesting that he's playing to the religious fanatics. Yeah, thank you, Law. It's the square rectangle. All Catholics are Christians, not all Christians are Catholics. Trump is neither. That is true. Phoenix, you're in here again crying about liberal safe space. I have my number on the screen that you can call in and have a conversation based off of factually based evidence and not your feelings. If you say that you have proof of something, you damn sure better be able to show it to me. Again, that number is 509-795-0412. That's crazy. What is that? Blue said that this is what Donald Trump thinks the Pope is supposed to be, which is wild.
I believe it as a recovering Catholic.
Yeah. Wild. The things y'all be posting in my Discord. The indigo lantern, that's wild. Okay, let me highlight that one so I know where I am. But maybe Maybe Donald Trump is jealous. I think Donald Trump is jealous of his popularity. We haven't seen him in a while. I've had stuff on him, but it just hasn't really fit into the outline. Here is our Red Bull. Good boy. Golden Retriever Harry Enton.
President, the Pope, from a approval standpoint, who's better positioned right now in the United States among American Catholics?
You know, maybe President Trump is jealous of Pope Leo XIV because it is a blowout. It is a blowout, and this is just the American public at large, John. Look at this. It is a blowout on the net popularity rating. Pope Leo XIV at plus 34. Look at where Donald Trump is at minus 12. It's not even close. It's a nearly 50-point blowout amongst the American public at large.
Aww. No, nobody's surprised, Nutmeg. We're just... That's probably why. It's probably why he's upset. Because he's speaking out against the Trump administration, and he's popular for doing so. It's sad. Thank you, Phantom, by the way, over there on Twitch for cheering the 40 bits. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You have a great Monday yourself as well. You guys, thank you for hitting that. Now we're at 32,000. You guys hit that 25,000. So keep it up. I appreciate you guys. I do like to hit 50,000 before the top of the hour, but I know you guys can do better than that. I've seen you guys do better than that in other spaces than my own and in my space. So make sure you guys are doing that. Again, 98 left in my goal today. I have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, all in the link tree in my bio. If we would like to get that down today, that would be awesome. We'll keep Enton going. Harry Enton. I combined his name.
Pope Leo XIV absolutely crushing President Trump when it comes to how popular they are, at least as of the last month. And I will note that Pope Leo was the most popular person tested by NBC News. I believe the president is making a humongous mistake going after the most popular guy in America, at least well-known guy.
The question is, why is this man smiling here? How about among American Catholics?
Yeah, that's right. There's a reason why the Pope is smiling there. How about among American Catholics? President Trump is struggling with American Catholics. Look at this. Maybe this is part of the reason why he's going after.
Guys, David Monty told me to get a real job. So can we prove to him that this is a real job by getting my goal down? That would be wonderful. I would appreciate it. Let's show him how I do the drift. Because that's what somebody called it. Not the grift, but the drift. And hi, Becca. I haven't seen you in a while. Yes, I did go over the Hungarian race.
To the Pope. U.S. Catholics on Trump. You know, you go back to November of 2024. Look at this. President Trump crushed Kamala Harris by 20 points. But down he goes into the Dead Sea. Look at this.
Mark Trouble, the cope is wild. The cope is unwell, sweetheart. He said, no crap, all politicians poll low. That's why we attempted electing a supposed political outsider, except that that's not true. That's not true, as Harry Enton will show you. In multiple, this is just U.S. Catholics, but we have gone over. Harry Enton is one of our favorite people in this space, in this community. That's why we call him our Red Bull, good boy, golden retriever. He goes over how the polling was in Trump's favor in 2024 and 2023 and 2024. And I would never call somebody who gave money for decades to politics a political outsider. If you are involved in politics in any way, shape, or form, whether that is just running or that's donating money, you are a part of politics. And yeah, Lynatti, the reason this is such a huge deal is you take that away from your voting base, you have a problem. If you oust Catholics from your voting base, you have a problem.
Minus 4 points. That's a nearly 20.
AOC was an outsider? No, she ran as a politician. She's starting her career young, like many of them do. Do you think Joe Biden started out as a 80-year-old? He started out in politics very young. Jim McGovern started out politics very young. They just stayed there. Like, no. I wouldn't call AOC an outsider. I would call her somebody starting her political career.
5-point switcheroo in the
Biden was 29 when he was elected. Yeah, thank you.
wrong direction. The president has been struggling with Catholics, and I must say, in my expert opinion, I'm not quite sure that going after the Pope is the way to recover with Catholics.
Hey, look,
Again, you oust Catholics from your voting base, and you're going to get fucked. But do you? You know, that's your choice. I have a little bit of a couple 60 Minutes clips. There were some cardinals who came out and spoke out, and this will get us into our Iran portion. about the rhetoric of the war specifically. And so we're going to play a couple segments of that. So make sure we're doing all the good things, please.
Cardinal Cupich not only takes issue with the war, but also what he calls the gamification of how the White House has portrayed it on social media.
Flawless victory.
We're dehumanizing the victims of war by turning the suffering of people and the killing of children and our own soldiers into entertainment.
You called it sickening.
It is sickening. To splice together movie cuts with actual bombing and targeting of people for the purposes of entertainment is sickening. This is not who we are. We're better than this.
Cardinal Cupich not only...
That's the point. They just want us to be better than that. They're making it like a video game for you all to cheer about when it shouldn't be that way. That's disgusting. David, again, over here, Trump doesn't care about voting in polls. He's in his last term, just doing what's best for the country. You'll thank him later when Iran isn't bombing your grandkids. No, because we have no proof that Iran had a nuclear weapon or that they were close to getting a nuclear weapon. The only person who actually got it to where they were enriching above 60% would have been Donald Trump by removing us from the JCPOA. And again, you can call if you're not too much of a coward little bitch. I thought you all were alphas. You can call and with factually based evidence and not your feelings, have a conversation with me about it. Here, actually, we'll do this. There. So that you know exactly where we are and where we stand today. We're back here. But you guys can't defend it. You guys have no proof to show me that. For 47, they can't be an imminent threat while also being threatening us for 47 years. Cry. Cliff says 440 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium is missing. Like, the reason that we're in this position is of its own making, because of Donald Trump. Thank you to Crispy Bacon for the $2 train. How do I sing that? I'm going to say choo-choo first for the toot-toot twain, and then sing, money, 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 money. Money. I got you, Crispy Bacon. W for the $2 from Crispy Bacon. I appreciate you. It took me a minute, but I got it. And thank you to Parkers, W2 Parkers, for the $10 on the green app. All hail our grifty overlord. Thank you so much. Make sure you are hailing me and all of the dues that will end up in George Soros's pocket, because that is what we do here. So we are making sure that we remember to do that. Hi, Blue.
Hi there. I just wanted to point out that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a Japanese animated show about a Japanese boy who is possessed by an ancient Egyptian pharaoh, and they're using that as saying the American way.
They never watched that. Don't you know that they don't know what they're talking about? Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a wild choice. W, thank you, Phantom, for the 5 gifted subs over there on Twitch. Thank you so much. Just like a lib slur, hate on Trump, beg for money. No, I'm criticizing him. Can you do that, Patriot? Do you know how? Or did you forget how to criticize? Or did you never have it to begin with? Here's more of the Cardinals on the Iran war. As they call it a war of choice, I call it a war of choice. We did not need to do this, and nobody's been able to give me proof that they do.
Under Catholic teaching, this is not a just war. The Catholic faith teaches us there are certain prerequisites for a just war. You can't go for a variety of different aims. You have to have a focus aim, which is to restore justice and restore peace. That's it.
Iran has been the chief exporter of terror. Is there no scenario in which preventing that can be a just war?
It's an abominable regime, and it should be removed. But this is a war of choice that we went to, and I think it's embedded in a wider moment in the United States that's worrying, which is this. We're seeing before us the possibility of war after war after war. Under Catholic teaching,
Because now, which we will get into when we get to Iran, we're threatening China as well. So that's awesome. W. Parkers, again, for the $5 on Cash App for Quack Quack Mother Duckers, Lloyd. I don't know. Am I supposed to know what that is? Or does that go over my head? Quack Quack Mother Duckers, quoted from Lloyd.
That's the name of her duck, I think.
Oh, is that one of your ducks' names? Thank you, Parkers. And W to Justin for the Lloyd. W to Justin for the Tutu Twain. Choo choo. For the facts and the fabulous Monica Grift. These are the days of our lives, Justin. That's what I'm gonna go with. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. That brings us down to 79. Thank you for that. And thank you guys for skipping over the bad numbers today, because we've been on some shit with the bad numbers last week. I don't know what that was about, but we're fixing it, so thank you. Oh, is that Sirius's nickname? Sirius's nickname is Lloyd? That's wild. that's a way to name him, sure. Oh, and before we get back to the next part of the outline, thank you to Kate for the $10 on the Blue app for Antifa dues. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for getting your Antifa dues in. If you have not gotten your Antifa dues in for the month of April, make sure that you do. That is how we fund our BLM bake sale, which they finally made. Blue finally made. In my Discord, because I'm really bad at that. And also to George Soros, because he is breathing down my neck at all times to ensure that we are doing the liberal things that we are supposed to do. So thank you guys so much for proving the MAGA on YouTube correct. And this number is going to be great. I know you all love that number. So thanks for that.
Insight. That erection.
Do the thing. Do the thing. Nice. All right, let's move on to Iran. So we segue from the Catholics. I'm sure that we saw this unhinged rant as well. I don't know why the fuck. Jesus. Which one is that? Okay, so let's start with this one, I guess, because it's 2 in 1. We get a nice twofer in this one. So there you have it. The meeting went well. Most points were agreed to, but the only point that really mattered, nuclear, was not. Effective immediately, the United States Navy, the finest in the world, will begin the process of blockading any and all ships trying to enter or leave the Strait of Hormuz. At some point, we'll reach an all being allowed to go in, all being allowed to go out basis, but Iran has not allowed that to happen by merely saying there may be a mine out there somewhere that nobody knows about but them. Here's my thing, and I will keep saying this to you all. It was open. It was. Donald Trump ruined that by allowing us to get involved with Israel and to bomb Iran. But it was open until this dumb shit. This is world extortion, and leaders of countries, especially the United States of America, will never be extorted. I have also instructed our Navy to seek and interdict every vessel in international waters that has paid a toll to Iran. No one who pays an illegal toll will have safe passage on the high seas. Again, that's threatening other countries now. We will also begin destroying the mines the Iranians laid in the straits. Any Iranian who fires at us or at peaceful vessels will be blown to hell. Iran knows better than anyone how to end this situation, which has already devastated their country. Their navy is gone. Their air force is gone. Their anti-aircraft and radar are useless. Khomeini and most of their leaders are dead, all because of their nuclear ambition. The blockade will begin shortly. Other countries will be involved with this blockade. Iran will not be allowed to profit off this illegal act of extortion. They want money, and more importantly, they want nuclear. Additionally, and at an appropriate moment, we are fully locked and loaded, and our military will finish up the little that is left of Iran. I thought they decimated them. How many times can we destroy the same country? It's just a question. So then, let's see, I can't bring it up. So then he truthed himself, I guess? I don't. Iran promised to open the Strait of Hormuz, and they knowingly failed to do so. This caused anxiety, dislocation, and pain to many people in countries throughout the world. Maybe we just shouldn't have attacked them, and then we wouldn't be in this situation. They say they put mines in the water, even though all of their Navy and most of their mine droppers have been completely blown up. They may have done so, but what ship owner would want to take the chance? Okay, so they didn't because we destroyed it, but also they may have? Khamenei. You don't say the K at all. Khamenei. Thank you. There is great dishonor and permanent harm to the reputation of Iran and what's left of their leaders, but we are well beyond that. As they promised, they better begin the process of getting this international waterway open and fast, which again is funny because just a week ago he was saying it doesn't matter. We are done. We have won. We are done bombing Iran. We are going to begin the pullout. I don't care if the strait is open or not. Literally said that. I don't care if we open the strait or not, we're done. But apparently he cares a lot because the global market is fucking falling apart. Let's see. Every law in the book being violated by them. I have been fully debriefed by Vice President J.D. Vance, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and Jared Kushner on the meeting that took place in Islamabad through the kind and very competent leadership of Field Marshal Asim Munir and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif of Pakistan. They are very extraordinary men and continuously thank me for saving 30 to 50 million lives in what would have been a horrendous war with India. I always appreciate hearing that. The amount of humanity spoken of is incomprehensible. But again, Pakistan was the one who said it included Lebanon in the ceasefire, and our administration said it did not. And also humanity coming from the guy who truthed about saying an entire civilization will die. Maybe the global market shouldn't depend on aid from Americans. Kill free speech, that's not what we're talking about. We are talking about the global market as in the dollar, as in the oil market, and how Donald Trump effectuated that by starting this war with Iran. The meeting with Iran began early in the morning, lasted throughout the night, close to 20 hours. I could go into great detail and talk about much that has been gotten, but there is only one thing that matters. Iran is unwilling to give up its nuclear ambitions. In many ways, the points that were agreed to are better than us continuing our military operations to conclusion. But all of those points don't matter compared to allowing nuclear power to be in the hands of such volatile, difficult, unpredictable people. My 3 representatives, as all of this time went by, became, not surprisingly, very friendly and respectful of Iran's representatives, Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, Abbas Araghchi, and Ali Bagheri. Excuse me if I butchered those names. I apologize. But that doesn't matter because they were very unyielding as to the single most important issue. And as I have always said right from the beginning and many years ago, Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. So they failed. J.D. Vance failed. Let's see, that one's coming. That one. And specifically, he was told about this. This was before these truths. So I do want to play this. This was before these truths, where he was told, like, they're not opening the strait and they're not listening to you. And he just gets mad because they're not listening to you.
How do you know that? Why do you say that? Why do you say that? You don't know anything. Who are you with?
NBC News, Philly Circuit.
ABC?
NBC.
Well, let's make news.
Why does it matter who they're with? The whole point is that they are not listening to your threats. This, again, was before he decided he was going to block the strait, block the blockade, which we'll get into. But he won't even, it doesn't matter who they're with because he's not going to answer questions regardless. I have a bunch of clips from Maria Bartiromo, one in particular where he just completely ignores her actual fucking question. So that was this one. But let's hear from J.D. Vance first, who was the one who was there, right? He was the one doing the negotiations with Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. Now, what I want to say before that is that I had no problem with sending Vance, really. Like, you could. That's totally fine. Send him with Steve. And Steve Witkoff makes sense because he is our special envoy to the Middle East. I don't know why the fuck Jared Kushner is there. He's literally not in a governmental role at all. He is just a real estate developer who happens to be his son-in-law. But I don't know why you would send him. Why wasn't Marco Rubio there? That man is the Secretary of State. You can send Vance, that's fine. Rubio should have been there. I'm not saying that that would have ended in a deal. We still could have been in the exact same situation we are in now where there was not one. But I don't know why Marco Rubio wasn't fucking there. He should have been there. But here is J.D. Vance on the negotiations and how they didn't go well. Before I do that, let me make sure I check this because I see this. Thank you to Dan, Dan, for the $5 on Venmo for contributing to the goal. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that. And also Trisha for the $2 train. Choo-choo! For hashtag Team Lloyd. My nickname services are available to all who know the difference between 2, 2, and 2. Trisha, I love you so much. So W's to Dan and W's to Trisha. Thank you so much for the total of 7. Sorry, I'm doing math in my head. And, you know, we all know what happens when Monica does math in her head. I turn into that meme of the lady with the equations in front of her face. That's what happens. Thank you, guys.
A couple of notes of appreciation. First of all, to the Prime Minister of Pakistan and to Field Marshal Munir, who were both incredible hosts. And whatever shortcomings in the negotiation, it wasn't because of the Pakistanis, who did an amazing job and really tried to help us and the Iranians bridge the gap and get to a deal. We have been at it now for 21 hours, and we've had a number of substantive discussions with the Iranians. That's the good news. The bad news is that we have not reached an agreement, and I think that's bad news for Iran much more than it's bad news for the United States of America. So we go back to the United States having not come to an agreement. We've made very clear what our red lines are, what things we're willing to accommodate them on, and what things we're not willing to accommodate them on. And we've made that as clear as we possibly could, and they have chosen not to accept our terms.
Of course not. Of course not, because anytime you negotiate with them, you lie. Like you started bombing them while we were in the middle of negotiations with them. Again, I'm not saying that I want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. I'm not saying that. I don't like that regime. I don't think they are good to their people. I understand why they want one, the same way a lot of countries want one, which is a deterrence. Because guess what? North Korea has been threatening us for years. Russia has been threatening us for decades. The reason we don't fuck with them is because they have nuclear weapons. This country wants to be left alone. But Israel won't leave them alone. And so, yeah, they have been trying to create a nuclear weapon now after they got out of the JCPOA, and especially because they were in the JCPOA and they were following the rules. Nobody has been able to show me an IAEA report that shows that they were breaking the JCPOA until after Donald Trump pulled us out of it. They were listening. They were not enriching above 3.67 because they couldn't. They started enriching more after Donald Trump pulled the muscle, the United States of America, out of the JCPOA. Why did he do that? So he could put sanctions on them. And now they keep getting messed with by Israel and other countries. Of course they want one. They want to be left the fuck alone.
Questions.
Sir, Nick Robertson from CNN. Precisely what have they rejected here? Can you help us understand it a little bit?
Well, I won't go into all the details because I don't want to negotiate in public after we've negotiated for 21 hours in private. But the simple fact is that we need to see an affirmative commitment that they will not seek a nuclear weapon and they will.
Oh, Eli, I said that. I said that too. I think it's the same as ACA versus Obamacare, right? I think that he's taking what the JCPOA is and using the colloquial terminology in his dementia-riddled brain of saying Iran nuclear deal. And he thinks that that means that we were giving them a pathway to a nuclear weapon. He's never read the JCPOA. He didn't know the restrictions. And so he thinks that that's what that means when that's not what that means. And they all probably think that that's what that means. So they're not very smart.
Not seek the tools that would enable them to quickly achieve a nuclear weapon. That is the core goal of the President of the United States, and that's what we've tried to achieve through these negotiations.
Fractalize, you said, I don't like the regime, blah, blah. What's the blah, blah in that? I don't, two things can be true at the same time. I know you have trouble with nuance, but two things can be true at the same time. I cannot like the regime and what it does to his people, but also say that the United States of America needs to stay the fuck out. But you guys are too cowardly to call. I literally got no callers on Friday. I barely got any on Thursday. You guys are having some big feelings without any facts behind it. I understand that. That must be tough for you, huh?
Again, their nuclear program, such as it is, the enrichment facilities that they had before, they've been destroyed. But the simple question is, do we see a fundamental commitment of will for the Iranians not to develop a nuclear weapon, not just now, not just 2 years from now, but for the long term? We haven't seen that yet. We hope that we will. Jen.
Was there a framework on anything? And also, did the Iranian frozen assets come up? And did you reach any conclusions on those frozen assets?
We talked about all those issues, Jen, and we talked about a number of issues beyond that. And so certainly those things came up. But again, we just could not get to a situation where the Iranians were willing to accept our terms. I think that we were quite flexible. We were quite accommodating. The president told us, you need to come here in good faith and make your best effort to get a deal.
Oh, Cliff. Cliff says, so tell Russia, China to stay out of their neighboring countries. I agree with you. Russia and China should stay out of their neighboring countries. You know who else should stay out of their neighboring countries? The United States of America. Maybe we should stay the fuck out of South America. What do you think? What do you think, Cliff? What do you think about that, Cliff?
Glad you agree with us, Cliff.
Yeah, you're right. We should stop that fucking proxy bullshit. You're right. I agree. Glad we could find a place of agreement. Cliff, good job. You're getting there.
We did that, and unfortunately, we weren't able to make any headway. Preston.
Mr. Vice President, how often did you communicate with President Trump throughout the negotiations? There were reports that there were multiple rounds where there were breaks in between negotiations. How often did you...
Cliff said Russia has troops in Venezuela. And we have troops everywhere. Are you fine with our bases all over? Literally everywhere? Cliff, you fine with that? What makes us the good guy in that situation? And I don't like Russia. Y'all have been the Russian simps, so it's very confusing. When you guys choose to hate Russia and when you guys choose to believe Russia. Did Russia interfere with our elections or no? Or do we hate Russia or no? I'm very confused depending on the day. Maybe you guys should get your newsletter right on that.
You communicate with the president throughout those rounds, and what was he saying as you were going through these negotiations that you said fell short?
Yeah, obviously we were talking to the president consistently. I don't know how many times we talked to him, a half dozen times, a dozen times over the past 21 hours. We obviously also talked to Admiral Cooper, to Pete, to Marco, to the entire national security team. We talked to Scott Bessent a number of times. So look, we were constantly in communication with the team because we were negotiating in good faith. And we leave here with a very simple proposal, a method of understanding that is our final and best offer. We'll see if the Iranians accept it. Thank you.
Well, they didn't. Oops, go away, Vance. You're saying that I need to decide whether I want U.S. to run it or Russia to run it. No, I don't see it as that. I see there are global powers, but we also live in a world with other people in it. So maybe we should just, fucking work together. It would be nice. It would be nice. It would be nice. And stop being the aggressor.
It's almost like we're part of like major peacekeeping organizations that have conversations about these things that, I don't know, like we normally abide by, but right now we're just flying by the seat of our pants.
So since we're going to do a blockade now, here is Donald Trump on Maria Bartiromo talking about that blockade that they plan to put in place.
But, Mr. President, you wrote on Truth Social this morning saying that we will begin the process of blockading any and all ships trying to enter or leave the Strait of Hormuz. And at some point, we will reach an all being allowed to go in and all being allowed to go out basis. Right. So tell us what you're trying to accomplish with this blockade,
all in,
sir.
All out. Yep. It's called all in and all out. There'll be a time when we'll have them all come in and all come out, but it won't be.
He just bumper stickers. He doesn't have anything to add. It's just bumper sticker shit that people tell him, and Grandpa's like, that sounds nice. I'll repeat that.
Be a percentage. It won't be a friend of yours, like a country that's your ally or a country that's your friend. It's all or nothing, and that'll be that won't be in too long a distance. No, we're just bringing the ships up. We got a lot of ships, so we're bringing them up. We think that numerous countries are going to be helping us with this also, but we're putting on a complete...
Who? Which countries are going to help you with that blockade? Because they haven't helped you with striking Iran or with the Strait at all. Why? Why would they do that?
His statement of all or nothing is basically that's the real MAGA slogan.
Yeah.
All or nothing.
All or
nothing. There's nothing in between. It's just everything or nothing. There's no nuance. There's no gray areas. There's no color. It's just black or it's white.
Phantom, thank you for the 50 bits. You asked, sorry I didn't see it. Why do you think the president didn't go to Iran? Well, to be fair, they didn't go to Iran. They went to Islamabad, Pakistan, is where Vance, Witkoff, and Kushner went. And I actually would not expect him to. That's any president. If Biden was still president, you can go all the way back. We can do Obama, Bush, Clinton. That's not their job to show up for negotiations like that. Again, that's why I'm bringing up why Rubio wasn't there, because that's Rubio's job. That's the Secretary of State's job. Under Obama, it would have been John Kerry, and then before John Kerry, it was Hillary Clinton. Secretary of State's job is to do those kind of negotiations with your special envoys. And if you want to send the vice president, you totally can. So actually, I would never expect Donald Trump, the president himself, or any previous presidents to physically go to negotiations and be in the room. I would never expect that of any of them. I think that would be dangerous for them. Even if I don't like Trump, that would be not a good situation to put them into.
Yeah, and Iran specifically has arrest warrants for Trump since 2020 and 2021.
So if you get into a country that's willing to take him, that's not... I don't know how hard Pakistan would fight to not allow him to be detained. So that's not a great idea.
Blockade.
Guys, can we get those hot cross buns accomplished? I've still got 90 of those left. I would appreciate it if we could get those a moving here.
We're not going to let Iran make money on selling oil to people that they like and not people that they don't like, or whatever it is. It's going to be all or none, and that's the way it is. And it'll be you saw what we did with Venezuela. It'll be something very similar to that, but at a higher level.
Except like not at all, because Venezuela, as much as I disagree with what happened in Venezuela, thank you, trademark, jeez, for knocking that out. As much as I disagree with what happened in Venezuela, Venezuela was a relatively low-profile, easy in-and-out operation, right? We bombed a couple ports, and we went in, and we took him and his wife, and we got out. It was, in a military standpoint, relatively easy. So to say that this will be like Venezuela when that was an overnight thing, and this has been going on for a fucking month now, is silly. That's a silly comparison. It's not anything like that. He wants you to think it is because he wants you to glaze him and be like, yeah, he's doing great. Everything's fine. And so then specifically he did a truth about how blockading them, that if they try to get through, what our plan is. So Iran's navy is laying at the bottom of the sea, completely obliterated. 158 ships. Okay, remember, completely obliterated. That would mean everything. What we have not hit are their small number of what they call fast attack ships. Would that be their navy? That would still be a part of their navy. Because we did not consider them much of a threat. Warning. Oh, so you underestimated Iran. So you underestimated them. You didn't consider their fast attack ships, whatever the fuck those are, which would still be a part of their navy, that much of a threat. And those are the ones that are keeping the strait blocked. Okay. Because we did not consider them much of a threat. Warning, if any of these ships come anywhere close to our blockade, they will be immediately eliminated using the same system of kill that we use against the drug dealers on boats at sea. It is quick and brutal. P.S. 98.2% of drugs coming into the U.S. by ocean or sea have stopped. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President GJT. Don't know where the fucking statistical facts are on that. But, you know.
So we went over that this morning when somebody was calling from. So that number is specifically from CBP. That's specifically from ports of entry.
Right.
CBP is saying that 98.2% of drugs are down, but that flies directly in the face of Coast Guard, where the vast majority of drugs from ocean and sea would come in, which are saying that there was a 200% increase in fiscal year 2025.
Right. But with his threat, Iran is now threatening a new blockade. We're just going to go threat for threat, I guess. That's what it says, but it doesn't show. But thank you. Okay.
Absolutely. We're talking about Bab al-Mandab, which is a different area where the Iranians could use their proxy, the Houthis in Yemen, to try to block off international shipping. And they have threatened to do this if there is a blockade on their ports near the Strait of Hormuz. Now, we saw in the past the Houthis getting directly involved in this conflict. And Brian, you and I have talked about this. It's a major concern that the Iranians may try to use one of their largest proxies, the Houthis, to launch missiles or drones at vessels in the Red Sea. This is absolutely, we're talking about.
So now they're threatening to blockade the Red Sea with their terrorist cells that they fund. We could have just kept negotiating. We went over this. We talked. We saw the video of the foreign minister of Oman who talked about the fact that Iran was already willing to keep any enriched stockpile under a certain percentage and have it kept out of the country. It would not be physically in their country anymore. That was already a part of the negotiations before Donald Trump decided we were just going to do this. Well, I guess Israel decided, and then Donald Trump took the bait because he's a fucking idiot and decided to do this. We already had this deal that they wouldn't have this stuff. And you guys fucking ruined it. Here is George Conway. His ex-wife now was Kellyanne Conway, the scarecrow lady. If you don't know, she was the one who came up with the term alternative facts. So thanks for that. She has helped launch an entire new reality for you all. So that's great. Love that. So here is George Conway on this idea of blocking the blockade. And he's going to say exactly what I'm going to say, which is like, it's like having a clubhouse, and when somebody doesn't let you in your clubhouse, you go, well, I'm not going to let anybody else in your clubhouse either. If I can't go, nobody can. It doesn't make any sense. He's acting like a child.
Contemplating the fact that one moron, one psychotic moron, one capricious idiot has completely bollocksed up the global economy to the detriment of his own people, but the detriment of the planet. Think about that. Everything from these tariffs, which have to be done and undone, and we end up with the crucial things that we can't buy, and that it's like, how much more of this can the planet take? How much more? And then, you know, the Iranian the minister or whatever it was, the Iranian minister is right. It's like, we're going to get to $6. If there's no oil coming out of there, including the Iranian oil, we're actually worse off than we were last week, which wasn't great. Well, and we're still going to have the after effects of the supply disruptions are going to continue. Even if the Strait opens up next week, the supply disruptions are going to continue for a while through the summer.
And that's the thing you guys haven't reckoned with yet. They could open the strait right now as we're speaking, and I would report on it. It's not going to change the prices right now because we're going through the summer and it's going to be a pain in the ass. Somebody said that I'm not a patriot and that I need to get educated. Educated on what? What do I need to be educated on? I love and yearn for information that I have not seen as long as it is factual. I would love to see it. So again, if you can call in 509-795-0412 and give me this factual information for why you're still supporting Trump and what I am not educated on, that's not just your fucking feelings and like, you don't think, then I would love to have that conversation. But most of the time it's what it ends in. You don't think they're doing this? I don't without proof. Well, we all know the common sense says that they're... No, it doesn't. So where's the proof? But that's all you guys have for me, which is why you don't call in, because you know that you can't prove it. You are researching on the fly right now to try to find it, and it's not working for you.
They just be saying things.
Just be saying things. So then Trump decided he was going to threaten China because there's reporting that China, not only is China getting through the strait because they are a friend, as you guys said, rightly so, that China is a friend to Iran, sort of a little proxy with them. China is able to get through the strait. They are being allowed to. And there is reporting that they're sending Iran weapons. So Donald Trump decides he's going to threaten China now. That's a great idea. I apologize. I hate the fucking outside the helicopter fucking press pool. I hate it.
Well, if China does that, China's going to have big problems, okay?
What big problems? What are you going to do to China, sweetie? Oh, sweetie. China has lasted for dynasties before us. I guarantee you they'll probably last for dynasties after us. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to China? They think you're weak. They don't care. And I thought it didn't matter anyway. This was Donald Trump last week. This was before the negotiations anyway. About whether we make a deal or not, it doesn't matter because we won.
We've totally defeated that country. And so let's see what happens. Maybe they make a deal, maybe they don't. Doesn't matter. From the standpoint of America, we win. One other thing.
Oh, Gina, am I a vile, nasty human and my mouth is gross? Well, fuck you, you stupid motherfucking cunt bitch.
What's happening is that boats are sailing up and heading out to our country. Big, beautiful tankers, and we're loading them up with oil and gas and everything else. And it's a pretty beautiful thing to see. We're going to see what happens. We're in very deep negotiations with Iran. We win regardless. We've defeated them militarily.
Obviously not. If we have to blockade the blockade, then obviously we haven't defeated them militarily. He just says shit. Why do you guys let him just say shit? Why do you guys let him lie to you?
It's so crazy. We spend more on our Defense Department than the next 9, I think 10 countries now combined. But China has 50% more manpower in their military than ours. So it's not just like some throwaway thing if China is involved.
No.
And Iran is already a massive military. Like throwing China on top of that, like we're asking for a world. Trump is asking for a world war.
Mark says that why are we still there? And I agree. Why are we still there? If we defeated them, if we obliterated their capabilities, why are we still there?
Dropped a couple of water mines. You call them water mines in the boat. We've defeated all of their water boats too. Their navy has gone 158.
Water boats, as opposed to land boats.
You know, water boats is just an off-brand of Whataburger, you know?
Oh, yeah, that would be terrible. Water boat.
Love you, water boats.
I forgot he said that in the clip. Wait. Hold on.
Water mines, you call them water mines in the boat. We've defeated all of their water boats too. Their navy has gone 158 ships.
I mean, yes, you do have land boats, but like he doesn't know that, Chicky. Chicky, he doesn't know what that means.
They have 28 water droppers, mine droppers, they call them. All of them are sunk. They probably have a couple of mines in the water. We have mine sweepers out there. We're sweeping the strait. In addition to that, we're negotiating.
Do you think... I'm just gonna be an asshole. Do you think they sit him in front of an old computer and let him play Minesweeper and he thinks he's actually taking them out himself? Here, Grandpa. Here you go. Here, Grandpa. Oh, I'm getting real. You are, Grandpa. You're getting real good. Yeah, fuck them. We obliterated their navy. I got him.
It wouldn't be difficult to like put some military branding around Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a very simple program.
Yeah. Yep.
I could absolutely see them putting some military branding, some US logos here and there.
I believe it.
And say that he's actually sweeping mines.
They're all very, very upset at me. None of them will call in because they're a bunch of pussies, but they're very, very upset at me. They think I should be deported to Iran. They say the IRGC love me. I have no love for the Iranian regime. I don't know how many times I have to fucking say this. I have to edit today my cavewoman voice that I gave you all the last time. Do I need to do it again? Iran regime bad. U.S. also bad. U.S. lied. U.S. kill children. Iran kill children. Bad. Holy fuck.
You might have to do that one more time.
Two things can be true at the same time.
No, that's not cave woman.
No, that was too smart for them. I apologize.
Just like I said, it's all or nothing. You either support Iran or you don't. You either support the United States or you don't. There's no in between. There's no nuance. There's no, okay, I support the United States, but in this aspect, we're in the wrong. You can't say that.
Make a deal or not makes no difference to me. And the reason is because we've won. Whether you listen to the fake news or not, you know, it's amazing. Their credibility is down to 13%. The media credibility down to 13%. Think of it.
Where's that coming from? The credibility of the media is at 13%. What?
It was an ad on his Minesweeper.
Oh, yeah, probably.
We defeated their Air Force. We defeated their anti-aircraft. We defeated their radar. We defeated their leaders. Their leaders are all dead. And now, all we do...
How are their leaders... Then who the fuck were J.D. Vance and Steve Witkoff talking to if all their leaders were dead? Like, he just says shit. That's what I want you to understand. This isn't about hating him. This is about critiquing him. Stop listening to the things he says and just believing it. Critique him. He just told you that all the leaders are dead. How are all the leaders dead when at this point in time when this video came out, J.D. Vance, Steve Witkoff, and Jared Kushner were in Islamabad talking to the leaders? Have some goddamn scruples. Have some fucking principles. Have a fucking brain. Try. Just try one day. Having a brain.
If I only had a brain.
We'll open up the Strait even though we don't use it because we have a lot of other countries
That's a lie.
that do use it that are either afraid or weak or cheap. I don't know what it is, but we were not helped by NATO, that I can tell you.
Of course you weren't helped by NATO, because NATO is defense, and you started a war. You were the aggressor in that situation, so of course you did not get help. Of course not. Let's see. Let's skip those ones. I don't need those. So this is the one I wanted to show you with Bartiromo specifically. She's asking him about super tankers that are supposedly coming to the Gulf to fill up with our oil, correct? That is the question she asks him. Now, again, I want you to listen. I know you hate me. I'm a lib. I'm a lefty. I have colored hair. I use foul language. Oh no, she's a woman. She has 2 cats. Oh no, her husband must be a beta. Oh no, her husband hates her. Blah, 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 blah. I got you. I understand. I got you. By the way, since I am such a grifting liberal lefty woman, guys, 6-2 left in my goal. Make sure you're getting those, that goal down. The Cash App, Venmo, PayPal is in my bio. My goal is to get you to understand, to actually listen to him talk. She asks him a very specific question, and he does not answer it. He goes off rambling on a stump speech as if he's still campaigning. Do you not understand that? He does not answer questions. What happened to the most transparent presidency in history? He won't even answer a question as simple as, are super tankers coming to the Gulf to fill up with gas?
President, because you referred to a post that hundreds of super tankers are headed to the Gulf of America to buy oil and gas from the U.S. What can you tell us about that, sir?
Well, I can tell you that it used to be called the Gulf of Mexico. That's what I can tell you. Now it's called the Gulf of America because of me. One of my little things that I did, you know, one of my little sidelines.
How about answer the question that she asked? What can you tell us about super tankers coming to the Gulf to fill up? But he's going to go off about renaming it because that's what's important right now. We're at war. The global market is fucking falling apart. But that's what's important.
And it's a great honor. People are so happy. You go to Louisiana, you go to Florida, you go to these states, Texas. They're so honored.
Tim, call in. Call in and tell me with factually based information what he is doing, how he is doing exactly what he said he was going to do. Go ahead. Call in. Don't be a coward. Don't be a coward now, Tim. Because, you know, you're an alpha. You're a MAGA alpha. So go ahead and call and teach the little girl on the left with facts how he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do.
Honored by it. I used to say, why is that the Gulf of Mexico when we have 93% of the frontage? And, you know, it fronts 93% on the United States. I said, I think I'm going to change it to the Gulf of America. What a beautiful name. And I did. And I give a lot of credit to Google because once I filed the papers, I did it. And Google Map, once Google Map changed, you know, did it, it was a done deal. But we had...
It's not how that works. By the way, other countries still call it the Gulf of Mexico. It's just because Google did it. Google put it on the maps. That's it. You know what Google also did? When I moved into my neighborhood didn't exist. We lived here for a good 3 to 4 months, and we didn't show up on Google Maps, so I guess I just didn't exist for 3 to 4 months. I don't know why we were still paying our mortgage for our 3 to 4 months, because we didn't show up on Google. Interesting. Maybe Google should have paid for those 3 or 4 months of mortgage, because I didn't show up at all. Our street didn't exist.
We had lawsuits. We won everything, and it's now the Gulf of America, which I'm very honored by.
But do you expect
I must tell you, I was thinking about calling.
Look, she even tries to get back to the question. The super tankers?
It the Gulf of Trump, and I decided not to do it. I think maybe it was a wise.
Look at, you can see in her face, and she glazes Trump's taint on the daily, and she's like, I'm just trying to get him to answer this question.
That one maybe wouldn't have worked out. I'm not so sure. You'll have to tell me. But I was thinking about it's going to be called the Gulf of Trump. And then I said, that's not going to play too well.
Never answered the question. What can you tell us about the super tankers coming to the Gulf to get filled up? Nothing? Oh, okay. That's your guy. That's Peepaw. That is Grandpa in the corner that you're like, damn, he's just talking. But in that segment with Bartiromo, he is also asked about whether he believes the prices of oil and gas are going to come down before the midterms. Again, a nonsensical fucking answer. He gives you literally all the answers in one answer.
They all said, we agree.
So do you believe the price of oil and gas will be lower before the midterm elections?
I hope so. I mean, I think so. It could be, or the same, or maybe a little bit higher. But it's
a simple question. Do you think that the price of oil will be lower before the midterms? I hope so. I think so. It could stay the same. It could be higher. So which answer do we believe from that? Because that wasn't an answer. Yeah, Cindy, I was going to play it at the end. How can you give a simple answer for a complex problem? Then you say, I don't know. You say, I cannot answer that right now, Tasty Cake. That's what you would say. You would say, I can't answer that right now because it's a complicated situation. You don't say, I hope so, I think so, it might be the same, it might be higher. Just say you don't know that. It's not nitpicking. It's not. He could answer better. It's not my fault that you guys are totally fine with the language of a fucking 4-year-old.
Should be around the
I thought
same.
he had the best words.
Right.
I think this won't be that much longer. They're wiped out, man. They're wiped out, and you don't get a fair shake.
Except
you don't
they're
get.
not.
We need a free and fair press in this country, and I don't even know why people would do.
Green, thank you. You said it even better than I did. You could say, I'm not at liberty to say. Okay, cool.
Do that. Why would they say how wonderful they're doing militarily? They're doing so well. The country is wiped out.
Except that we're still there. That's not true. Why do you keep letting him lie to you about that? They're not wiped out, or else we wouldn't be there anymore. And yet we're there.
People upset not knowing the exact war plans of Iran. Nobody's asking for the,
I'm not
war,
asking
plans.
for the war plans.
We want to know the goal.
What, Tasty Cake, what did Bartiromo ask him in that clip? What did she ask him? Do you anticipate oil prices to be cheaper before the midterms? What did that have to do with war plans? Nobody was asking about war plans. Yeah, about gas prices. Do you anticipate gas prices being lower? He could have just said, I can't answer that right now. He could have just said that. He didn't say possibly. He said, I hope so. I think so. It could be the same. It could be higher. That's not an answer. Yeah, we can. Actually, we haven't seen Ruben today. I need to get the generic one that Eli sent me. I know he did send one. But if you guys, I'm going to do the Ruben PSA, but it works the same for any person.
Tasty Cakes, that's not semantics.
Are you tired of seeing Ruben, aka Sandwich,
or
in the
Tasty
chat?
Cake?
Are you tired of seeing his completely idiotic takes? Or maybe you want to contribute to his degradation kink. But remember, we don't kink shame, but it's totally fair to kink ask why. Or maybe you just want him to shut the fuck up. Well, you can keep him muted for as little as $2 a day, $7 a week, or $25 a month. From now until whenever we fucking feel like.
Thanks for that. If they were so obliterated that it wasn't an issue, why was Donald Trump on Maria Bartiromo threatening their desalination centers? I wonder.
Sure. Well, in the maximum campaign, you can't do any more maximum. We've wiped out their whole country, essentially. The only thing left, really, is their water, which would be very devastating to hit. I would hate to do it. But it's their water, their desalination plants, their electric generating plants, which are very easy to hit. We could hit them. We could have them all down. And I mean down like you couldn't have electricity for 10 years because it takes you 10 years to build those plants from scratch. You'd never probably be able to build them again. And the bridges. So that's really the only thing. We still have some more missile manufacturing plants. We know every one of them. We'll do that. We still have other things. But when you talk about maximum, I think, outside of those few things that are remaining.
Just a question. Am I a middle-aged woman? I just want to know. What's the average lifespan?
70-something, I think, right?
Even Tasty Cake said I'm not. I don't know. Somebody called me a middle-aged woman in the YouTube chat. I was going to say we live longer now, so I wouldn't, unless I'm going to die at 70, which I doubt because I'm a relatively healthy person. I don't consider myself middle-aged, but even if I did, I don't really give a fuck. I'm so sorry that you're triggered. Yes, 35 plus 35 is 70. You're correct. I'm so sorry that you're triggered by a 35-year-old woman being smarter than you, that nobody has called in today to give me facts to the contrary. Again, focus not on me, but on the fact that the president is again threatening, if we have obliterated their Navy and obliterated their military, why are we threatening to bomb their energy and desalination facilities again?
I think I pretty much maxed out. You are very, very violent and vicious. I don't want to have you against me, I'll tell you. What you say? I think we pretty much maxed out, other than those few items. And we still have some plants left.
I'm not triggered about you coming after my age or my looks or my relationship status. I'm not triggered about any of that. I could give a fuck. What I am triggered by is that is what you focus on instead of focusing on what this is about, which is that the President of the United States lies to you on a daily basis, saying that we have taken out Iran's military capabilities, and yet we are still there, and we are now sending our Navy to blockade the blockade that wouldn't exist if we didn't do this in the first place, and the blockade that shouldn't exist if we supposedly took out their military. It can't be all of the things.
40 things can't be the same at once.
This is the thing that they want that they feel like they have nuance on.
Yep.
Yeah. This is
the thing. He says obliterate, which is an absolute.
Mm-hmm. But
but this is what there's some gray area with obliterate.
Blue Baron, I didn't say you said anything about my looks. You talked about my age. Other people will talk about my looks. They will talk about my relationship status. They will talk about the words that come out of my mouth and the fact that I cuss. I wasn't saying that you did. You talked about my age. But you talked about my age instead of talking about and critiquing the president. What do what numbers say, Tasty Cake? And then here's this lovely little tidbit we got from Netanyahu. Again, this is going to be a voiceover translation talking about how J.D. Vance and the administration is briefing him and reporting to him every day. Are we losing lots of military assets? I would say that our supply of our weaponry, not necessarily our personnel, but we have lost 13 personnel with hundreds more injured. But our things like our tomahawks, we are running low on. it's a problem. Did we not take out their leader? Yes, we did. But apparently Donald Trump said we took all of them out. Tasty Cake, are all of the leaders dead, or who did JD Vance talk to, Tasty Cake? Guys, remember, $2 a day, $7 a week, and $25 for the month to mute people you don't want to listen to. Links are in bio. This is Netanyahu talking about the fact that JD Vance and the administration reports to him and gives him detail about what's going on every single day. Good to know that Israel is in charge of us.
I spoke yesterday with Vice President J.D. Vance. He called me from his plane on the way back from Washington. He reported to me in detail, as the people of this administration do.
Oh, Tasty Cake. Fuck off. W to Lenati for the $2 for mute the disgusting cake for the rest of the live. Te quiero mucho, mi amor. Fuck off, Tasty Cake.
Every day, on the development of the negotiations. In this case, the explosion in the negotiations, the explosion came from the American side, which was not willing to tolerate the blatant violation of the agreement to enter negotiations by Iran. Essentially, the agreement was that there would be a ceasefire and Iran would immediately open the crossings. They didn't do that. The Americans were not willing to accept it. He also conveyed to me that the central issue on the table from the perspective of President Trump and the United States is the removal of all enriched material and ensuring that there is no more enrichment in the coming years, and this could be for decades. I spoke
But why is our administration reporting to Netanyahu and briefing him every single day? I don't think they should be doing that. I think that's weird. Okay. We're done with Iran. We've got like 30 minutes. I did want to get to this real quick. So it's all men. We know that it's all men, but specifically, we'll start with this one, if you guys haven't seen it. The reason why, this is a Fox News host talking about the reason why our fertility rate is down.
Absolutely. We still have 3.6 million births a year, but the problem is teens and young adults. From ages 15 to 19, the fertility rate is down 7%, and it's down 70% over the last 2 decades, meaning we're telling people that are young not to have babies, to wait till they're in a more stable life situation, till they're more financially secure, maybe they haven't found the right partner. To you.
15 to 19-year-olds aren't having kids. That's why our birth rate is low.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. It's a weird way to phrase it.
You know, like, this is, I want people to understand the difference between fertility rate and the birth declining number. When we're talking about actual fertility, we don't actually talk about how hard it is for a lot of women to get pregnant.
Sure.
Who want to get pregnant.
Yeah.
15 and 16-year-olds and even younger people and people in their mid-20s don't want to have kids right now because of our fucking economy.
Right. And like Law pointed out, he literally said the problem is that 15 to 19-year-olds are not having children. And that's why what he means to say is the birth rate. I don't know why they put fertility rate, but the birth rate is declining in that way. And he's saying because of that. As Manny pointed out this morning in Olives, there is also, we are seeing what is good. The positive is that we are doing sex education in schools. So we are teaching teenagers, if they are going to have safe sex so that they don't have fucking kids. Like, wild. Was the economy better in the 1930s? No. Who the fuck? Who are you? Blue Baron. Are you okay? Who made the claim that the economy was better in the 30s?
How did we get to the economy?
Also, baby boomers happened after the Great Depression.
Correct.
Dumbass.
Because we boomed after. Yeah. We had the roaring 20s. What happened after that, Blue Baron? The stock market crashed. I didn't get your point. No. Because we were talking about birth rate. So no, nobody got your point.
Dumb basses.
But this should make y'all happy because I am not a slave to a party. I don't glaze a party the same way you guys do. So, Eric Swalwell quits California governor race after sexual assault allegations. Oh, crap, I forgot I have to paywall this. Hold on. I'm so sick of capitalism. It never used to be like this. You did not have to do this to fucking only certain papers. You had to do this to read them. And it was like New York Times and Wall Street Journal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Representative Eric Swalwell, the Democratic frontrunner in the fiercely contested race to be governor of California, has suspended his campaign amid a series of sexual assault and misconduct allegations by a former member and at least former staff member, and 3 other women. The woman who worked for Swalwell said the California congressman had sexually assaulted her twice when she was too inebriated to consent, according to a report by the San Francisco Chronicle, which was published on Friday. 3 other women also accused Swalwell of misconduct, according to CNN. The women said Swalwell had sent them unsolicited nude photographs or explicit messages. In a statement posted online, Swalwell said he would, quote, fight the serious false allegations that have been made, but that's my fight, not a campaign's. To my family, staff, friends, and supporters, I'm deeply sorry for mistakes and judgment I've made in my past. Swalwell, 45, has forcefully denied the allegations, calling them false and suggesting they were concerted effort to derail his campaign. I'm not going to read his quote. I don't care. Earlier on Sunday, the Department of Homeland Security had announced an investigation alleging that Swalwell hired, quote, a Brazilian national as a nanny without lawful work authorization. The allegations of immigration law violation came to light after Joel Gilbert, a California filmmaker who made a conspiratorial documentary about Barack Obama in 2012, filed a 68-page complaint with immigration officials in February. The allegations of sexual assault came as Swalwell, who is married and has 3 children, was beginning to consolidate support in a fluid Democratic field that had yet to produce a clear frontrunner. Almost immediately, prominent allies and rivals began to call on him to withdraw from the race, as several campaign staffers resigned. The California Senator Adam Schiff, once one of the most prominent Democrats to support Swalwell's campaign for governor, had withdrawn his endorsement and called on him to exit the race, as did the Senator Alex Padilla, who has remained neutral in the contest. And it looks like his campaign co-chairs stepped down. Good.
Well, now I want him to completely remove himself as a rep.
That is now the next step. I don't want him to just stop. Right, he had an au pair, and au pairs have a different kind of visa, so that investigation is probably going to be for naught. But the investigation into his sexual assault allegations and sexual harassment allegations need to be fucking investigated. He needs to not only drop out of the California governor's race, but he also needs to get out of his seat. Now, do you guys hold that same sentiment for Tony Gonzalez?
Nope. You know they don't.
Because that's the thing. They both need to go. And it's starting to gain traction. Not as well as we would like. Growing number of House members say Reps Eric Swalwell and Tony Gonzalez should resign or be expelled. Efforts to expel Representatives Eric Swalwell and Tony Gonzalez from Congress gained bipartisan steam on Sunday, as lawmakers on both sides of the aisle said they would vote in favor of 2 separate measures to remove the congressmen following separate sexual misconduct allegations against each of them. Representative Byron Donalds of Florida told NBC News Meet the Press moderator Kristen Welker that he would vote in favor of expelling the 2 lawmakers from Congress if given the opportunity 2 days after multiple women accused Swalwell of sexual harassment and assault. If separate motions to expel the 2 congressmen come before the House, Donald said, I will be voting yes on both measures. I want you guys to pay attention to that, because when Congress decides to come back, if this comes up onto the floor, make sure you look at who voted for what. These allegations are despicable and they demean the integrity of Congress. These things are just completely unacceptable, he added. As far as I'm concerned, both gentlemen need to go home. Appearing later on Meet the Press, Rep. Pramila Jayapal was asked whether she'd vote to expel Swalwell if the measure comes to the floor. And Congressman Gonzalez, I've already said that, the Congresswoman said. I think that it is very important that we believe women and that we show people across the Capitol and across the country that we will not accept this kind of behavior.
It's all men till it's no men.
Right, but I like to see, again, talk is cheap, so again, I want to see what it looks like if these resolutions come to the floor.
And if they actually stick to the floor.
What their actual votes are going to be. That's what we want. Again, this is what I want you guys to see. This is not about a Democrat versus Republicans. I'm not even a Democrat. Again, I'm a registered independent. I'm farther left than the Democrats are. I want you to take a stand to ensure Congress is doing their job. Pay attention to C-SPAN and their calendar for when Congress comes back in session to see who promotes this and whether they try to let it die in committee again, whether we have to do a discharge petition like we did with the Epstein files again, because Mike Johnson will refuse to bring it to the floor. I know, that's why I said when they come back, Carlos. I know they're on break.
They're still on break?
Mm-hmm.
How long is their fucking Easter?
Well, they just do new breaks after new breaks after new breaks. It's always the man's fault. Mark, call in and talk to me about it. It is. It is always the man's fault. Yeah, you're right.
It's all men till it's no men. If that makes you uncomfortable, then I think you're the problem.
Go after these men.
What woman would be at fault in this situation?
Yeah. What did a woman do in this situation between Eric Swalwell and Tony Gonzalez? What did they do?
Well, you know, what were they wearing?
Mike Johnson does have to go too, but that's a different conversation.
Well, Mike Johnson's accountability buddy for corn is his 17-year-old son.
Yes. But again, my point is, are you holding Congress accountable? Or are you just burying your head in the sand and glazing Trump the same way that they do? It's not about that. It is about making sure that these people get removed. If they're not going to step down themselves, even though they should, if they're not going to do that, then we can make sure that they do. But you guys don't stand for any actual values. It's just whatever you think you can get over another party, another side. It's football politics. That's all it's ever been for you. Okay. Let's do this one. So I have it here. Prefer to do it this way because then you get to pay attention a little better with a video.
All right, some details and news coming in right now. A federal judge has now dismissed a lawsuit brought by President Trump against the Wall Street Journal. This was over, you might remember, the newspaper's reporting on Jeffrey Epstein and what became known as his birthday book. Let's get over to CNN's chief media analyst, Brian Stelter, who's got the details coming in. Brian, what are you learning about this?
Apologies for catching me in the car. I pulled over to write this story. But yes, this is a big defeat for the president in court because this lawsuit filed against the Wall Street Journal, it was the first time in living memory that a sitting U.S. president sued a news outlet over a story he didn't like. Trump has since sued the Wall Street Journal. He's, sued the New York Times, sued the BBC. But this journal's lawsuit was the first of its kind. And now U.S. District Judge Darren P. Gales has thrown it out. He says Trump has failed to plausibly allege that Rupert Murdoch's newspaper acted with actual malice. So it's not.
Now remember, just a little refresher of history for those of you who forget, there was a rumor about this card in the birthday book, and Donald Trump came out when the rumor of the reporting, we didn't even have the card yet, remember? We didn't have the card. It was just reporting of it, that he drew a picture in there with a disgusting poem that he wrote, and he denied it. He said, I never wrote anything in there. I don't even draw. That is what Donald Trump said. Then the Oversight Committee subpoenaed the Epstein estate, and we got the birthday book, and we got the drawing that supposedly didn't exist. Just remember how much Donald Trump keeps lying to save his ass with his relationship with Epstein.
Not meeting that high standard for defamation lawsuits. Now, Trump does have another chance. Gales has dismissed the lawsuit without prejudice, which means Trump has until April 27th to file a new complaint if he wants to, if he tries. But in order to proceed, Trump will have to allege the journal knowingly published false information. And the thing about this Epstein birthday book is that everybody has now seen the image for him or herself. Everyone has seen this in the public domain, and the journal continues to aggressively fight this case. So it's another legal loss for the president. His lawsuit against the New York Times was similarly challenged by a judge last year. So even though the president has gone up against news outlets, when these news outlets decide to fight back in court, they usually win.
And to be honest, the dismissal from the judge is probably the best case scenario for him. If this case would have gone forward because the Wall Street Journal was not capitulating, was not willing to settle, they were going to go to court. Guess what that does? discovery. Dismissal's the best case scenario for him in this. This is actually probably, as much as it seemed like a defeat, this is actually a win for him, because then he doesn't have to actually produce shit in Discovery.
Here today,
He keeps
Rupert
putting himself
Murdoch's
in
Wall
these
Street.
situations.
He does. I don't. Like, you just didn't have to do this. Like, just shut up. You could have just shut up. But now the story's back. The story hasn't been in the news for forever, but now the story's back in the news because of this dismissal, because you just keep doing this.
You keep talking.
Journal with a big win against the president. And it raises a question that dates back to last summer when Trump filed the lawsuit. Did he sue over this Epstein birthday book report because he didn't want people to believe it? Was he trying to muddy the waters? Was he trying to pick a fight with Rupert Murdoch or win a settlement deal? Well, if he was trying to do that, he has failed today.
Shocker. He fails at a lot of things. I just wanted to have it where it's reported. I have an AP News article on it as well, and I also have the actual, as I always do, and this will be posted in the Discord, I have the actual order so that you can read it if you wish to. I know you guys don't like to read, but my community does like to read, so I make sure I try to get all of that information, not just the CNN reporting on it, but the actual order as well. Let's see. That is going to be too long, but I'll get into that next week. I don't really have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this that somebody posted in my live chat, which is his response, I guess. He was asked outside the White House, as he has a DoorDasher outside of his door. Thank you, Tiffany, by the way, for sharing this. Asking about if he posted that picture of him as Jesus himself, if that was him or if that was a staffer, because, you know, he likes to blame staffers. So was this you? This you? And he says it was him. It's interesting, again, that he removed it.
Did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support.
Has he never seen a doctor?
I didn't know that doctors dressed like Jesus.
I retract my statement. Of course, he's never
He's
seen
never
a real
seen
doctor.
No, not a real one. Actually, we're gonna go back up here. Let's get the pic. Let's for science. Do doctors have glowing healing hands?
Like depictions of doctors normally have like stethoscopes and
Like this nurse has down here. She has this, yeah.
their scrubs, things like that. But
How much more bullshit are you guys gonna let him give you? Like seriously. I know it's tough. I know that you have sucked his dick for so long, making eye contact, that you guys have to just like stay on your knees for him. But like, it's time to stand up, sweetie. It's time to like unhinge that jaw. It's time to stand up. Like, I thought I was a doctor.
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, "How did they come up with that?"
Because you look like Jesus. Let's just Google. Let's just Google illustrations of Jesus. Which we know he's not white. Let's just get past that part. But like, let's just, the clothing. Is that not? Let's compare. Oh. Ooh, that's tough. Okay. Oh. Ooh, yeah, that one's like an exact replica. Oh, interesting. How the fuck is it the media who's making it that way? Yeah, Joey, you're right. Rehinge the jaw. Don't unhinge it, because that's what you already did. I'm just saying, like, shake it out. Oh, there's one. That's a good one.
That's not my Jesus.
I know, but like clothing-wise.
I don't know. My doctor started looking like that a few weeks ago, and I was very concerned.
I would be very scared if my doctor showed up looking like that.
About it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better. I make people a lot better. As an example,
But even that in and of itself is bad. He's not a doctor. He did not go to medical school to get a doctorate in medicine. That would also be bad. If it's not bad enough that it's a fucking depiction of Jesus, and it is, it's not any better that you are pretending, which by the way is a crime. If he actually tried to like prescribe shit to people and actually tried to give medical advice, it's a fucking crime. It's a felony to impersonate a doctor without a license. You are pretending that you're a doctor, but you're not a doctor.
Hey, even the tube can't defend this. I don't see anybody trying to
No, they're fucking quiet.
chirp on this.
They're fucking quiet.
Y'all okay over there?
Having a hard time with this one?
the 11,000, I understand your husband's going through treatment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's
He
going
has
through
cancer.
some very serious cancer treatment, so.
Not from you! Because you're not a doctor.
Yes, sir.
This goes a long way.
Yes, sir. It sure does.
Has nothing to do with you. What the fuck? That's an explanation. That's, I guess. It's one way to describe it. Oh my god.
Doctor.
I was just trying to be a doctor. Oh god, what's that? Now, I'm just going to show random videos I find because all the other stuff I have in my outline we'll have to get to tomorrow because I don't have time to go over it in the way that I would like, and it's Monday.
Well,
so
I'll
I have
tell
my
you what
children
I
home.
find. I like doing this with you.
It's Monday, so my children are home, so I have to do lunch and stuff. Oh, by the way, though, I will not be on tomorrow, okay? Not at my normal time. I might be able to get on when we get home. My children have dental cleanings tomorrow. Of course, it's right at the time I have to go live. And if you guys know anything about dental appointments or any kind of appointments with your kids, you need to show up earlier than God. Not Trump God, but like real God. Even though your appointment might be at 10, you need to show up way before then so you can sit there for an hour so that they can get to you at 10:15, even though your appointment was at 10. And then they're going to clean my children's teeth, both of them. And then we have to drive back home. So I do plan to try to go live after we get home, after I have them settled with lunch and I have eaten, and then I plan to go live. But I will not be on at 10 a.m. tomorrow like I usually am. Gotta do parent shit. But this video, supposedly, it says something to the effect of him trying to get the DoorDash. I don't know why she's still standing there. I don't know why she's still standing there. I don't even interact with my DoorDashers. Love y'all. Tip y'all good. But, like, put the shit down and walk the fuck away. And I wait for your car to drive off.
I don't want you to see me. I don't want you to hear me.
So I don't know what she's still doing there. But that he tries to get her to agree with something against the trans community. And it just, like, I don't know, it doesn't go well for him.
Borders. They want to have men playing in women's sport. Do you think that men should play in women's sports?
I really don't have an opinion on that.
You don't, I'll bet you do.
No, I'm here about no
Pizza.
tax on tips.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't have an opinion on that. I'm not touching that, sir. I'm here for tax on tips. That's
You're not gonna catch me on camera talking about this.
that ain't gonna be me.
Over here, she saw the notification and the address for the DoorDash. She said, "Fuck, man."
Oh, that's funny. Oh my god. Olive just sent me this one.
The fucking headline of it all is sending me.
President Trump orders McDonald's. Good for you. I'm so proud of you.
Shocker.
Is this a good thing? Is this an accomplishment? I'm so glad he could figure out the DoorDash.
What's the one thing you're proud of for President Trump? He knows how to operate his... Bitch, you know damn well he's not the one who fucking ordered it. They said, oh, Mr. President, someone's there at the door for you. I need you to get it because Susie Wiles doesn't want to feed you anymore. Like, that's what this shit is. He didn't choose to answer the door. Someone told him to do it because Susie Wiles said, I ain't feeding this man baby anymore.
Him holding the bags is sending me for some reason.
He probably wasn't planning on going to the door. He was doing this little press thing, and they just happened to show up at that time.
I just imagine that, like, the shuffle that he does to get to it when it shows up, and he's just like, I cannot. All right, ready?
It's fantastic. It's such an honor to meet you. And I think you voted for me, do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah? I heard you.
That's a no. Because y'all are very proud when you vote for him. Maybe less proud now.
I want to put myself in Sharon's shoes. Donald Trump asked me, did you vote? First off, the man would not lay a hand on me because Manny would be over there jumping. Number one.
I got bail money. It's fine.
Number two, Donald Trump. Olive, did you vote for me? No, Mr. President, I did not vote for you. Could you imagine the reaction I would get?
Maybe. Maybe.
It was such an honor to meet you. And I think you voted for me, do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah? I heard you're a great supporter. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'll put this over here. And why don't we have a news conference with the president? Want to do it? Sure. You don't have to say too much. I think they're looking.
She stepped back so far.
Right?
They're looking about Hormuz
no.
and various other things. Do you have any questions?
Oh, God. She's like, she's working. You know that she's missing out on more money by you forcing her to stand there.
Her shirt, by the way. Her
DoorDash
shirt's
grandma.
so cute.
But she also said she was there for no tax on tips.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that feels state, like not like her being in on whatever, but I feel like it was kind of set up so that she would be on camera.
Oh, it is, because here,
100%.
Olive sent this. This is Caroline Levitt. President Trump just received a McDonald's delivery order from a DoorDash driver outside the Oval Office. Thanks to President Trump signing no tax on tips into law, Sharon is using the $11,000 in tips that she made last year to support her family. I'm sure she is.
This doesn't look staged, does it?
They're all your favorites.
It doesn't look staged.
DoorDash is doing a good job. So, the reason for this is the fact that
It is staged, because even if, okay, I don't know that I believe the White House would get DoorDash anyway. I think you send somebody out to go get the fucking food for the president. Or they deliver it in a different way because you're the fucking president. But even if they get...
Cynthia is very upset.
Is Cynthia upset? Oh, he tipped her more than the cost of the meal, TDS on full blast. I'm not...
How do you know? Can you confirm that for me? Can you confirm that he's tipped that much? Did he tip it personally or did it go through fucking DoorDash? DoorDash will tell you 100% goes to the fucking dasher. That's not true.
It doesn't. It fucking doesn't. But again, even if the White House got DoorDash, they're not letting them in the gates to the fucking front door of the Oval Office. The fucking Secret Service is picking that shit up and taking it to the president. So yes, this was 100% staged. Mark Trouble said, I couldn't get lots of no tax on OT because you have to file jointly if married. Always a catch. Yeah, Mark.
Here you go. Here's the proof. Hold on. Let me send this to you.
Yeah, where are the guards that are outside of the door when he's inside the Oval Office? This was staged as shit.
Here you go. I don't know if that came through. No, I said the same thing twice. Hold on. That's not the one. There you go. There's her tip.
Oh, why didn't it show up? Stop it.
That's it.
Stop it.
By the way, she still has to claim that when you file your taxes with DoorDash.
Are the White House good tippers? Do you know?
Wait.
Potentially. Yes, very.
Which could be like a fucking $5 bill or some shit like that.
But that just shows me he doesn't know how DoorDash works because it's not cash like that.
Hubbub, he can only offer the tip. We've heard that already.
That's, you tip in the app before, like when you order.
Some people do hand you physical cash.
Sure. Not very
but
often.
You still have to claim it.
You have to claim it.
Kat says, for you to literally think it's not staged and to not understand the humor in his comment is what's truly ridiculous.
Humor? What?
Like the headline said Trump orders McDonald's.
He said, well, for you to literally think it's not staged, I do think it's staged. I do think it's staged. I didn't say it wasn't staged. I literally just went and explained to you how it is staged. It's not humorous.
Nothing's funny. Why are you knocking over shit?
Yeah, people don't claim cash. They don't. A lot of people don't claim cash tips. That's the big thing. But alrighty, so if I go on tomorrow after, again, I plan to go on tomorrow, but I'll let you guys know if I can't. It will not be at my normal time. I want to say 1 p.m. Mountain. That's what I'm going to shoot for. We're going to shoot for 1 p.m. Mountain time. Because then I can get home, do lunch and everything. I think that'll give me enough time. But if not, forget them kids. It's crazy indigo. Fuck them kids. So I won't be on at 10 a.m. tomorrow, but hopefully we can get to it. I have stuff on fraud. We got stuff on pardons, reporting on sweeping pardons before he leaves office. Dr. Oz admitting that the alleged fraud amount was way, way too high and was not true. And we actually have some stuff on Hassan Piker. Now, if you guys know me and you know my community, I'm not a Hassan Piker fan. I'm a Hassan Piker critiquer. I'm going to be a defender. So if you want to tune into that, it should be tomorrow at 1 p.m. If not, Wednesday, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. But I really am going to try and be on tomorrow. A bitch has got to grind. A bitch has got to keep working. So that is the plan. Are you going live, Olive?
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. So we're going to go raid Olive. That is our plan, is that we're going to raid Olive. Give her a minute to set stuff up because now I can raid from every single platform. I wish TikTok had a button for it, but they don't. But I can do it from all of the things. God, I can't with this man. Especially because I want to play more of these clips from him outside of this goddamn Oval Office, because the clips that I'm finding are insane. He has asked, is your expectation other countries will assist in effort to blockade Iran? Yeah, other countries are gonna also. They asked him, which countries, sir? We don't need other countries. I can't. Cannot even. Alrighty. Blue, I love you, friend. I'll see you later.
Love you. Bye.
All right, so we're going to go raid Olive. So Twitch and YouTube, stick around. TikTok, thank you guys so much. Let me get my thank yous out, though, real quick. So I always got to make sure we do that. I don't like to not. I think it's rude. So thank you, Justin. Thank you, Parkers. Thank you, Juicy Juice Godfrey. Thank you, Lanati. Thank you, Trisha. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Crispy Bacon. Thank you guys so much for getting our goal to where it is today. I appreciate you guys so much for that. Again, tomorrow my plan is 1 p.m. Mountain Time, whatever time that is for you. And then Wednesday we will be back to our normal time, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. So we're going to go raid Olive over here on TikTok. Make sure you guys go do Amani raid and Olives and do all the good things and support. I think she had a little bit over 20. I think it was like 24. Something like that left in her goal. So let's make sure we get that accomplished. I know you guys can do it. If you guys can get me down to 60, you guys can accomplish the rest of that goal. So I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow is the plan. I love you all so much. Bye. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now we're going to figure this out because I can do it, I swear. So let's do over here. We're going to go right on Twitch. I'm going to send you guys over there and get you started. And then here, I figured out how to do it, I believe. Stream settings. Hold on. I can do it. Figured out how to do it last time. Was it customization? Yeah, redirect. Okay. Ah. Nope, didn't come in that way. Hold on. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. I know I figured out how to do it last time. Maybe she's not live on YouTube. I'm not finding her. I'm not seeing her. Maybe we can't because I'm not finding her here. No live from her subscriptions. Yeah, she would have shown up here. All right. Well, I guess we're not rating her because she's not live over here, but I'll see you guys tomorrow.